Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Steel Knight here. If you're using Fusion 360 for plasma cutting, this tutorial will show you everything from creating a simple eye-bolt flange to laying out multiple copies for batch productions, and finally exporting your G-code ready to run on your plasma CNC. Let's jump right in. Start by creating a sketch in Fusion 360. Make sure you select the top view. And then we're going to create a rectangle that is 60 millimeters wide by 100 millimeters long. And we can go and do a line tool for the center, a dashed line, that way it's not there. And since the radius of the circle, or since the flange width is 60, the radius will be 30. Then we're going to go back to our circle tool, turn off your line tool, and just drag it down to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to either use T on the control board or just click trim. You're going to trim off the sides and trim down here. Now we're going to put a 40 millimeter hole in, and that will be the flange eye loop or lifting loop. Hit finish. We can either export it like or go into manufacturing like this, or we can extrude. And I want to extrude it to 2 millimeters because that's what I have in my workshop is 2. You would not be lifting anything heavy with this, but this is just for demonstrations. So now we're going to go into manufacturing side. So when we're in the manufacturing side, we're going to hit setup. I'm going to leave my machine blank. Select your cutting type, milling or cutting, and then we're going to select box point, and we're going to select right there. Go over to stock. No additional stock, so that's right on the edge of that profile there. Hit accept. And now we're going to jump into our cutting. No tool is selected, so we have to select one. And we're going to, oh, there's my plasma cutter right there. I already have one there. But if you don't know, if you need to create a new tool, what you're going to do is you're just going to go here and just hit this icon right here, plus plasma cutter. You're going to name it if you want. You're going to put a nozzle diameter of whatever your nozzle is, 1.3. My kerf is 1, and hit accept. So now we have that in there. Select. So with this type of feed rate with 2 millimeters, you're probably going to be running close to 3,500 millimeters per minute for thin materials like that. So now we're going to go over to geometry. So with the geometry side, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either select the face, or you can do the contours. And the difference is, with face, it automatically knows where to cut. But you can say, I want to cut it on the inside of the line or outside of the line. And we want outside. Same thing for this. We want on the inside of the circle, not the outside, because this dimension, if you're doing this for production reasons, this dimension between here and here has to match. So you don't want to lose any millimeters, especially when you're cutting with a 1.5 or 1.2 millimeter nozzle. You're going to have a 1.2 millimeter hole. So remember that. So now what we're going to do is, I like to turn on smoothing. We want a 2 millimeter pierce clearance. That means it's going to be just off to the side 2 millimeters. We don't need this, and we don't need this. You can leave entry on if you would like. I would do it probably like close to like maybe 45. No, sorry, probably about more like 70. And then we keep this down. Lead in distance, we'll say like 2 maybe. And then you want to select your preferred lead in. I like the lead in at the bottom. So we get to see what it looks like. There's that right there. And where's the other one at? I think it's right here somewhere. Okay, here it is right here. So it's going to lead in at a 70 degree and then cut. So let's check this out in how it's going to look when we do a simulation cut. You should always run a simulation cut. No issues were found. So we're going to hit play. So it's going right in. It's doing its cut here, and it's going to come out. Then it's going to jog over this way. It's going to come in, go around the eye loop, and it's going to come down and then out. So that looks good to me, right? Well, you're satisfied with this. Your part looks great. So now you want to do like batch productions, right? So there's two ways of doing this. We can go into here. We're going to say copy body, copy, and then paste. And then you can drag it like this. If you want a 5mm space in between, it's going to be set by this because your diameter of this line here is 60. So that's going to have a 5mm gap. So this is one way of doing it, but then you have to, for an example, you have to then do it again. Hit, where's my paste at? Repeat paste. Did it paste? It didn't paste. Alrighty, what happened? I think we have to do it from here. Select copy, then paste, and then move it up again. But I'm going to show you an easier way to do this. So we're going to hit cancel. We're going to hit Z. Hit Z again. You're going to go to create. Go all the way down to pattern. Go to your rectangular pattern. Click on that. Then you're going to select the axis. Click either this one or this one. It really doesn't matter because if I click on this one, I could still drag out this way. And I could still drag up this way, right? So let's back out. Let's do it again. If I click this one, I could drag up this way because that's the way it would be. And then I could drag out this way. So let's go back to this one right here. Remember I said this is 60 millimeters and you want a 65mm gap in between. It's a little bit of waste of material, but it should be fine. You can also put it down a 63. 63.0. So it's going to leave a 63mm gap. And here is your quantity. So you're going to just either push the arrow up or if you know how big your plate is, you can just enter in the overall size. Let's just say I have a plate that's close to 500, I think 600 wide, something like that. And let's say a meter deep. What did I do here? 63. Oh, wrong one. 63. I accidentally touched something. And then we're going to drag this out here. So same thing. 100 is a millimeter tab. 110 is the gap, or 10 millimeters gap. We want that at 103. And now we want this at also a 10. So you hit OK. And that is your array. I think you have to pay a special feature in Fusion to really nest parts together and stuff. I'm not too sure, but I'll look deeper into that for y'all. But this right here would be your cutout of your part. So now we go back into manufacturing and we'll double click this. And you can either click all faces, or you can go and select all the geometry. I find this very time consuming. So for an example, you could just do this. You see how I missed that? That's right. We can cut that out like that. This is for example. So now we're doing these 20 right here, or 30, sorry. And it's still going to cut out the same profile even if you select just the contours or if you select the face. So looking at it, it's still doing the same cut. We're going off that 2mm diameter. So let's take a look at the simulation. Simulate. Just trying to figure out where that oh, there it is right here. So of course we'll just speed it up a little bit. So either way, you can click on the individual contours. It depends on what you're doing though as well. So if you're doing a more intricate part or something, I'd probably click on the parts that need to be cut inside and out, if you know what I mean. So we're going to exit the simulation. Now you're happy with exactly your product here. So what we're going to go do now is go up to post-processing. Make sure if you're using Masso, because that's what I have, the Masso G3, make sure you download this A from their website or B from the Fusion 360 library. So we're going to use that. We're going to name this iBolt lifting, what the heck? Lifting plug. I like mine set in millimeters. You're going to set this to your output folder, which is your thumb drive. You're going to have both of these selected here, retract. That's the user dependent, machine dependent. I'm using a breakaway torch probe system. I'm not using ohmic. Probe feed rate is 900. Minimum TH rate, feed rate, I left that at 0. This just says it's going to just automatically default to the source. The radius, you have to, I guess, put 1 in. I can't leave that at 0. Anti-dive percentage, it will lock the z-axis under a certain parameter. THC z-axis feed rate, I leave that at 100. You could put that at 1600, but it's not necessary. The higher it goes, the more it will bounce up and down. So I just left that at 100. You can fine tune it from there. Material thickness, we're working with 2. Pierce delay 0.08. Pierce height to cutting height will be 1.5. Then you can leave all this, and then you're just going to hit post, and it's going to post down to your USB thumb drive, and there you have it. So with that being said, you've seen me create all this right here for you. And that's how you create a 60 by 100 millimeter flange plate with a matching 60 millimeter radius end. Duplicate it for batch cutting and exporting for your plasma ready G-code in Fusion 360. If this helped you out, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my other Fusion 360 plasma tutorials. Still Night out.